This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
And first up here at 11 o'clock, several pockets of thunderstorms are moving through central Indiana. Good evening. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. Those storms could lead to flooding. Let's get right to Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory.
And they are slow-moving storms. That's why the flood potential is much higher. We have several flood advisories and an amazing lightning show with several of these clusters. Want to point out we have 4 different flood advisories. Southern Tippecanoe County just south of Lafayette, Morgan and Hendricks counties between Nashville and Columbus, and then south of Seymour. Follow the lightning, and that's where you see the heaviest rainfall. This has been sitting south of Lafayette along 231, producing some small hail and torrential rainfall, 1.5 to 2 inches probably in the last 90 minutes. Heavy rainfall, the hills of Brown County, Nashville over to Columbus, and then south of Seymour. I do think we'll continue with these pockets of heavy rainfall overnight, some gusty winds as the core of the heavy rain collapses. You just get a big downburst, what we call, and that's where the stronger winds can come to the ground. We'll dry out for a while in the morning, but get back at it as far as thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. More details ahead.
This is addressing issues that are happening that are outside the will of God with all people. You know, with police, with black on black crime, with white collar crime, you name it. We're coming against the core of it, which is evil.
Tonight on the northeast side, a pop-up prayer service that organizers say they will keep holding across the city. And this time, the group focused on the area where a 16-year-old girl was hit and killed by a stray bullet. RTV6's Cameron Riddle shows you why more prayer events like this will continue through the summer.
God, we need you. In 2020, there is plenty to protest about. And according to Barbara Golder, even more to pray about.
You can protest till you're blue in the face, but if you don't change the heart of a person, then nothing is going to really change.
That is the energy fueling this drive-by prayer on the corner of East 38th Street and Arlington Avenue on the city's east side. A part of the city Golder says needs serious help.
There's a spirit that we believe rests on the east side of Indianapolis. Homicides, burglaries, thefts, people getting mugged and things of that nature. And so we came here so that we could take authority over all of that spiritual wickedness and bring all of our crime rates down.
The corner of 38th and Arlington is where 16-year-old Naya Mae Cope's life was cut short when she was hit and killed by a stray bullet. Cope was riding in a car with her family in the overnight hours of May 3rd, while a large crowd gathered in the old Value City parking lot. Police believe the bullet may have come from the crowd. Cope's death is one of the many issues that called this drive-by prayer back to that very same parking lot.
Too much murder. Too many things are going on this side of town. And so the church has to rise up and start going out beyond the four walls of our churches and do what we say is going to bring deliverance, and that's prayer.
Golder says the praying will continue each week in parts of the city where brighter days are needed.
A lot of people won't walk into a church, but if we can catch you as you're going into a store or driving down the street, and if a seed is sown that will change your life forever, then it's worth every effort that we put forth.
In Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And next Monday, the group plans to pray at the corner of 71st and Michigan on Indy's northwest side. That's near the corner where Drejon Reed was shot and killed by IMPD.
A deadly shooting in the heart of downtown Indianapolis around 2 o'clock this morning is raising concerns about violence in the city and violence among young people. Tonight, we're focusing on safety in the area where it happened. And while the canal is a popular place for families and kids, RTV6's Cornelius Hawker spoke with one resident who says it can be a different story once the sun goes down.
When it's dark, we don't stay outside.
That's the reality for Taylor Gowan and her neighbors who live along the canal walk.
Which is unfortunate because the canal has some really pretty places, you know, where you can be outside at night, but it's just not safe.
Taylor tells me something needs to change.
It would be amazing to have more police presence.
The early morning shooting killed 14-year-old Curtis White. Police say the teen tried to rob someone, but didn't realize that person was carrying a gun for protection. The alleged shooter, along with witnesses, are giving police information to help them get a better understanding of what happened. The fact that there were multiple witnesses can be seen as a good thing, but it's a reminder for Taylor, people are out on the canal walk at all hours of the night into the morning.
From what it sounds like, there's sometimes like groups of like 20 or more just walking by. Often,
the crowds are having innocent fun. Other times, scenes like this unfold, leaving Taylor and everyone who lives in this area nervous to be out at night.
We've lived here for like maybe 4 months. Yeah.
Are you regretting the decision to move out here?
We don't regret it. We just wish it was safer.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
Well, we asked Metro Police how often officers respond to calls along the canal walk. They have not gotten back to us with that information yet. No one has been arrested for the shooting that killed Curtis White this morning, and police are asking for more witnesses to come forward.
We could learn more about an excessive force lawsuit against IMPD later this week. An attorney representing Ivory Westfield and Rachel Harding is scheduled to hold a news conference on Wednesday. Police arrested the woman on May 31st downtown after the city imposed a curfew related to protests. Video of the arrest went viral. We do not have that video, but on June 5th, Harding talked to WRTV, describing what she says happened.
As he detains her hands behind her, he takes his hands in front of her and she flinches back. You can see clearly on the video. She flinches back. At that point, they start hollering out that she is resisting. That's when they start hitting her with the batons. Next are the rubber bullets. She told the officers multiple times that she was sorry. You can hear her in the video. She can't breathe. She's apologetic. She's telling them that she has defecated on herself. She's urinated on herself because of the amount of force that she was met with. So that if that doesn't tell you in itself the amount of force that she was met with, like, that's a lot of pain.
The lawsuit claims multiple officers acted aggressively. The women are seeking damages. The Indianapolis Office of Corporation Counsel says it does not comment on pending litigation. Common ways to use your phone while behind the wheel will become illegal in Indiana starting Wednesday. New state laws go into effect on July 1st, including hands-free driving legislation. That means drivers will only be allowed to use cell phones with hands-free or voice-operated technology. You will be allowed to hold and use your phone in an emergency.
Also on Wednesday, the Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles will start charging late fees again. The BMV waived those charges early in the COVID-19 pandemic. Any Indiana residents with expired driver's licenses, permits, state ID cards, and vehicle registrations should complete their transactions before Wednesday to avoid paying a late fee. Long lines formed 2 weeks ago when branches resumed walk-in service. Duke Energy, IPL, and 8 other electric and gas companies in Indiana will not be allowed to charge you for electricity that you did not use amid the pandemic. Today, the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission unanimously denied a request from 10 utility companies asking for permission to recover revenue shortfalls. They claim things like government orders, business closures, and remote working have significantly reduced revenues for some utilities.
Now to the impact of the pandemic on Hoosier lives. According to the State Department of Health, 2,432 people in Indiana have died from COVID-19. 5 newly reported deaths happened between June 24th and yesterday. More than 476,000 people have been tested for the virus. 9.5% have tested positive. And Indiana is scheduled to enter its next and final phase of reopening on Saturday. Retailers, restaurants, bars, clubs, salons, barbershops, and similar businesses can operate at full capacity. Restrictions at gyms and amusement parks will be lifted. Conventions, sporting events, fairs, and festivals may resume. Of course, many of those events have been canceled, and the guidelines and timeline could change. Governor Eric Holcomb's next update is set for Wednesday.
More than 126,000 deaths across the U.S. are now blamed on COVID-19. Dozens of states are reporting an increase in positive cases. ABC's Ramina Puga reports healthcare workers and first responders in some of those states are sharing stories of desperation as officials try to contain the crisis.
In the U.S., doctors are pleading with people to take the pandemic seriously.
There was a lot of wishful thinking around the country that, hey, summer, everything's going to be fine. We're over this. And we are not even beginning to be over this.
Houston paramedics are working around the clock, treating every call as a possible COVID case.
In the last couple days, we've doubled and tripled our call volume.
In Arizona, hospitalizations have almost doubled in the last 2 weeks. ICU beds are at 88% capacity.
There are patients begging me not to put them on the breathing machine because they know that they might die and might never talk to their families again.
Tucson Dr. Brad Dreyfus says healthcare workers are close to breaking.
Yes, we took an oath. It's not like you can just walk away from people you've been caring for in your community or someone you've been caring for in the ICU for 3 weeks. No, you're there, you're in it, you're with them. And that's why it's so emotionally exhausting.
31 states now facing a steady climb of positive cases. More than a dozen are pressing pause on their reopening plans, including California, where bars are shut back down in at least 7 counties.
In the last 7 days, we've seen a 45% increase in the total number of cases that have tested positive in the state of California.
LA County, the first county in the country to reach 100,000 cases. Texas's governor also ordered bars to close.
If I could have done anything differently, it would have been to delay the opening of bars.
Still, this was the scene at a restaurant in Houston Sunday night. As 4th of July approaches, some beaches in Florida and now California will close this weekend in hopes of preventing future outbreaks. In Colorado, Romina Puga, ABC News.
Now to another controversial issue the White House is facing. Tomorrow morning, 8 Democrats are scheduled to be briefed on allegations that Russia offered the Taliban bounties to kill U.S. troops in Afghanistan. 8 Republicans were briefed today. The New York Times first reported the claims and says President Trump was briefed on the intelligence. The White House says the president did not know and that the intelligence is in dispute.
The U.S. receives thousands of reports a day on intelligence, and they are subject to strict scrutiny. While the White House does not routinely comment on alleged intelligence or internal deliberations, the CIA director, NSA, National Security Advisor, and the Chief of Staff can all confirm that neither the president nor the vice president were briefed on the alleged Russian bounty intelligence.
But has he been since briefed, since all of these reports came out?
So let me back up and say this, that there is no consensus within the intelligence community on these allegations, and in effect there are dissenting opinions from some in the intelligence community with regards to the veracity of what's being reported, and the veracity of the underlying allegations continue to be evaluated.
Some lawmakers are calling for a congressional investigation.
Coming up here, neighbors in a community on the southeast side of Indianapolis hope a tragedy leads to change. The safety improvements they're calling for after a crash killed a teenager and critically injured another.
All they want is personal information. They did not want to know anything about my experience or my background.
And many people are in the job market for the first time in years. The scams you need to watch for and how to network during this new normal.
At GetChampionWindows.com today.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
A break from the rain allowed people to enjoy Mass Ave this evening. You can see from this video, many people were out and about earlier, enjoying the dry weather while they could. But rain and storms are back in the forecast tonight. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory joining us now with that forecast.
And the clouds opened up again after that break in the evening. I just want to show you, this is a broken line from Lafayette down to near Seymour. Along that line, we've had 2 to over 3 inches of rain within the last couple of hours. That's why there are numerous flood advisories. Watch for quickly changing conditions on roadways, and that may still be there first thing in the morning. Tippecanoe County, heavy rainfall, lots of lightning with this. It's kind of starting to shift a bit west of 231 over toward Williamsport and Attica. Again, rainfall rates may be in the 1 inch per hour category. Heaviest rain right around Seymour, up 65 and 31 toward Columbus, and then back into northern and northwest Jackson County and south then of Nashville. We've got another day where I think thunderstorms become more widespread in the afternoon into tomorrow evening. Then we really start to lower the probability of thunderstorms each day. Humidity is going to stay like New Orleans and southern Florida. These dew point temperatures will be in the 70s, very uncomfortable. That certainly provides the fuel for the heavy rainfall and the fact that the storms don't move very quickly. You recognize a pattern here. Temperatures at 90 or above as we go into and through the 4th of July weekend with rain probabilities low. That's good news for the outdoor activity, that you don't have too much in the way of rain to worry about. Temperatures in the mid-80s tomorrow. The afternoon heating cut off by the development of thunderstorms once again. 1 o'clock, you can see some thunderstorms in the metro area. 4 o'clock, scattered thunderstorms, any one of which would have heavy downpours, no different than what we experienced during the day today. As you look at Wednesday, one more opportunity for showers and thunderstorms. You begin to see the focus in the southwest portion of the state as we go through the day, and eventually all that will drop to the south and really lower our chance for rain. Wednesday, high temperatures, upper 80s, close to the 90-degree mark, kind of setting the tone. Again, the thunderstorm timing and coverage will ultimately influence the temperatures closer to 90 as we get to Thursday, with the rain chance diminishing. Here's your 7-day planner. Most likely time for these thunderstorms again overnight tonight and then developing in the afternoon and evening tomorrow. Rain chances diminish as we get through Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 in a row. Temperatures right at 90 for the high. Overnight low temperatures will be right around 70 degrees. That's an all-American summer heat forecast right there, Mark.
Delivered by you. Thanks, Kevin. We appreciate it. The Rebound Indiana is bringing you advice from experts that can help you and your family get through the financial impact of the coronavirus pandemic. One group is jumping right into adulthood in the middle of an economic crisis. Whether you or your child is graduating high school or college, many new grads are taking steps to become more independent. We reached out to a financial expert with TopCashback.com who shared some money management tips with us. Easy steps recent grads can take include putting graduation money into a savings account rather than spending it, using a budgeting tool to plan out your expenses, something like the 50-20-30 rule.
If you have a full-time job or a part-time job, anything like that, you're going to want to use up to 50% of your after-tax income on any essentials such as housing and food. So maybe you are paying for your room and board, an off-campus apartment, something like that. 20% towards any debt repayments and savings, so maybe student loans, and up to 30% on any lifestyle choices, so anything that really doesn't fall into those categories.
It's also important to focus on what's best for yourself and not what other people have or do. You can find more financial advice for recent graduates on our website, theindychannel.com/rebound.
With record unemployment and fewer companies hiring, finding a job looks very different than it did even a few months ago. Scripps reporter Amanda Brandeis explains some of the setbacks job seekers are facing now and how to overcome them.
Just a girl in a kayak in a lake. A California native, Christy Schmidt traded the city for a small, idyllic town in Oregon, surrounding herself with views worthy of a postcard.
First day of work at Navis, and the book's complete. This company is amazing.
It was literally my dream job. It was the best company culture I had ever been a part of.
Navis specializes in technology for the hospitality industry, including hotels and resorts. She thought working from home would be temporary, just during COVID, until the day managers called an all-team meeting.
And it was very tough for them to tell us that we no longer had jobs, that they were just doing everything they could to make the company survive.
She says it felt worse than a bad breakup.
I did start the job hunt, but that just showed that there really is not many jobs available.
The in-person interaction where Christy felt she thrived had been replaced with virtual interviews, and she's had to rely on LinkedIn as a way to network.
It is different just being behind a screen and not really having that face-to-face interaction.
After months of searching, she finally found an opportunity that made her hopeful, only to learn it was a scam.
All they want is personal information. They did not want to know anything about my experience or my background.
Now she's considering having to leave these views and move back home where there are more jobs.
Maybe I need to relocate myself just to be able to survive right now.
My first word of encouragement is you're not alone.
Tim Best has spent the last 2 decades helping veterans find jobs through massive career fairs at venues like Yankee Stadium. Now they're going virtual.
Really, nobody understands what a virtual career fair is until they experience it.
Employers market their brand in virtual chat rooms, which can lead to a video interview on the spot.
I've seen this before in previous recessions where people do rethink their career paths.
Christy is broadening her search, considering jobs she might have overlooked before the pandemic.
Knock on every single door because I know eventually one is going to open and it's going to be the right fit for you. And I'm confident that that is out there for me as well.
I'm Amanda Brandeis reporting.
And if you're looking for a job during this difficult time, go to hiringhoosiers.com. There you can find job postings, guidance from career coaches, and many more resources to help you rebound. We'll be right back.
Ashley Home Store. This is home. This is RTV6 News at 11. Working for you.
A reminder, RTV6 and our partners at Radio 1 are joining the conversation about racism and racial inequality in society. A conversation on race connecting Central Indiana will feature a variety of panelists from the community. You can submit a question by going to our website, theindychannel.com. Watch the virtual town hall at 7 p.m. on Thursday right here on RTV6 and on our digital platforms. It will also be simulcast on 3 Radio 1 stations.
Neighbors and community members are calling for change after a crash on the southeast side of Indianapolis killed a Franklin Central High School student. 16-year-old Ella Major died after the car she was riding in went off Fry Road and into a retention pond Saturday night. Another teen was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Witnesses told firefighters they saw the car going fast when it went off the road, hit a tree, and went into the pond. Neighbors say speeding and blind spots on the curve had led to crashes before. They hope something is done to help prevent future accidents.
Maybe have more, law enforcement out here and there that where people know that they're going to be clocked on their speed. People come flying around the curve. It's kind of a blind spot where all the bushes are on the other side of the road, so you can't always see when people are coming.
A petition to add guardrails at the curve is now going around.
The fate of a gaggle of geese in Carmel could be decided next week. And last week, a woman who lives in Lexington Farms in Carmel told WRTV a neighborhood board voted to euthanize 70 geese. One resident hopes the issue will be up for discussion at a board meeting set for next Thursday. Another issue that could impact the plan, the neighborhood needs a permit for geese control, according to the Department of Natural Resources. We found out they do not have that permit, so the geese are safe for now. Barbara DeSimone is among a group of neighbors who does not want to see the geese killed.
The only issue I see with the geese is that sometimes I have to step around some poop. But other than that, they're beautiful, and we love seeing the baby geese. One of the residents said to me, "Hey, we've got these ponds. What do people expect? They're going to come here. They stay here for a while and then they leave."
Several other residents who did not want to go on camera say the geese have gotten aggressive over the years and are not afraid of people. We have tried to get perspective from the Homeowners Association since Tuesday, but they have not commented. We will let you know if that changes. We'll be right back.
Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Duke Energy is reporting about 6,000 customers without power southern Tippecanoe County. The storm has led up there. Lightning likely the cause of those power outages between Williamsport and Veedersburg. Heavy rainfall. Then from Seymour down to North Vernon, lots of lightning and heavy rain. Back to thunderstorms tomorrow, and look at the temperature trend. We'll hit 90 before long. Amanda?
Thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news. Good Morning Indiana starts at 4:30. Good night.